Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christy with Van Ahn Company. It is Friday, January 27th. I'm going to go over the markets with you for the day and for the week as far as what those weekly charts looked at. Corn and soybeans both came back today after being a little bit weaker, down about 3 to 4 cents. We're able to come back just on the heels of the fact that South America, Argentina, just not out of the fence quite yet. Early June timeframe, to give you an idea, is what they're looking at as far as the growing season. But they just have had really volatile weather. So if it's not too dry, it's too wet, and it's one or the other, and it's been either or, and it's been back and forth that the dry areas then get dumped on where they get a little too wet, and so you've had those issues there, and it was enough to lift soybeans off their lows for the day. It's still closing down 1/4 cent lower as far as soybeans go, down 18 1/4 on the week. Corn market down 1 1/4 on the day, down 7 1/4 on the week. So really what you saw as far as corn goes, couldn't break through that resistance point of 370. We got trade above it once at 371, and it just wasn't enough, and you saw that selling pressure after that. A little bit of a different situation into the wheat market. A lot of pressure here today. Minneapolis wheat down 7 1/4, Chicago wheat down 6 1/2 on the week. Minneapolis down 9 cents, Chicago wheat down 7 1/4. So a lot of that pressure was really bounced off of today as far as those weekly charts go. Overall, what you're going to be looking forward to this next week is a lot of trades probably going to depend on that Sunday night weather model as far as Monday weather goes. So, or Monday trade goes. You know, you have to be really paying attention to Argentina right now. We know we're looking at a much larger crop this year in Brazil, but the biggest question is you had a low crop here last year in Argentina because of some tax policies. You're looking at maybe lower acres towards them anyway, lower production, and now with this weather, could it be even lower? Good thing is though, you do have Brazil hanging in there and giving you a little bit to offset that as far as that goes. Over in the meat markets, we had cash trade at 122 live this week, 193 dress. That is very similar to what we had last week. Cattle on feed here this afternoon. That'll offer some details. Biggest thing about cattle on feed, ranges of estimates, huge. No one's really knowing what to expect out of this. Monday's trade's probably going to be bounced off of what we see as far as those cattle on feed number goes. Live cattle down 37 1/2 cents for the day. A little bit of pressure here this week, closing down just shy of $2 on the week. Feeder cattle up 35 cents, but down $5.65 here this week. A lot of that due to the fact that you switched from the January to March contract on that weekly chart. Lean hogs up just over $1, up $1.60 here on the week. As far as those meat markets, what you're really going to be looking for besides cattle on feed is a lot of attention is drawn to what you're going to have as far as the relationship between Mexico and the U.S. Moving forward, eventually one of the top policies that President Trump wants to work on is NAFTA. That's going to be a big deal as far as this agriculture world comes to. Same with TPP. That is going to be a big one as well, just because a lot of that wraps around meat trade, and so we have to watch that moving forward to see what kind of relationship we get out of that. Moving forward, also just in general, you're going to be watching those outside markets. The Dow has been hovering around that 20,000 point. That's a big selling point for a lot of investors, and see what this Monday morning brings for us next week. I do have to close with the disclaimer: trading in futures and options involves risk of loss and may not be suitable for all producers. Have a great weekend.